So, welcome to Today in Black History. We're going to talk about Gwendolyn Sawyer Cherry. This session is usually I talk about a Black American achievement or historical event, and we're going to talk about Miss Cherry today. Gwendolyn Cherry was born in Miami. She's the daughter of Dr. W. I'm sorry, Dr. William B. Sawyer, who was a physician and one of the founders of Christian Hospital. And Christian Hospital was a facility that was the only facility that provided medical services for Black Miamians at that time. Her family also owned the Mary Elizabeth Hotel that was located in Overtown, and her mother, Alberta Sawyer, managed the hotel. So let's get started on Gwendolyn Sawyer Cherry. And she was known by Gwen Cherry. All right. Gwendolyn Cherry earned an undergraduate degree in biology and chemistry from Florida A&M University in 1946. She furthered her education by earning a master's degree in human relations from New York University. She worked first as a high school teacher for 17 years. During that time, she co-authored the book Portraits in Color: The Lives of Colorful Negro Women. It was published in 1962. And that book is out of print, but you can get that book at the Miami-Dade Public Library or Florida Memorial University has that book. Miss Cherry returned to school to obtain a law degree. She became the first Black woman to enroll in University of Miami's School of Law. Later, she completed her law degree at Florida A&M College of Law in 1965. She became the first Black woman to pass the Florida bar exam and practice law in Dade County. On her career path, she fought for the rights of women and underserved communities. She was one of the first 9 attorneys who served at Legal Services of Greater Miami. She was a hearing officer at Dade County Public Schools. She was the director of Economic Opportunity Program and an attorney at the U.S. Coast Guard Regional Headquarters in Miami. In 1970, she won a difficult election to become the first Black woman elected to the Florida State Legislature. She served there introducing several bills, including legalization of abortions for women who lived in Florida over 6 months. She submitted proposals for federally funded child care centers. She wanted to end capital punishment. She thought the death penalty was cruel and unusual punishment, and it's applied only to Black and poor people. She opposed the anti-busing legislation prohibiting the busing of school children to achieve integration, and that was in 1972. She introduced the state's first Equal Rights Amendment bill in 1972 as well. As a state representative, she noticed that the Florida legislature practiced discrimination in hiring of aides. She asked the House Speaker to give her a list of all staff, clerical, and custodial positions in the legislature, identifying those jobs filled by Blacks. She stated, "As I look around, it is clear that only a handful of Blacks are employed at any level by the legislature. Whether conscious or not, this discrimination should cease." She served as legal counsel for the Miami chapter of the National Organization for Women. She was on the advisory board for the school volunteer program, and this was a program to increase communication between the school and the community. She was elected to 4 terms until 1979 when she died in a car accident in Tallahassee. Miss Cherry had 2 children. She was married to James L. Cherry. Okay. Thank you for that. We're talking about Gwendolyn Sawyer Cherry. All right. As a result of her lifetime achievements, she was inducted in the state of Florida's Women's Hall of Fame in 1986. Gwen Cherry Park is named in her honor. In 2005, the National Bar Association Women's Lawyers Division Dade County chapter voted to be renamed in honor of Gwendolyn Sawyer Cherry. The new name became the Gwen S. Cherry Black Women Lawyers Association. On June 5th, 2008, the FAMU College of Law announced the dedication of the Gwendolyn Sawyer Cherry Esquire Lecture Hall, which is used for classrooms and practices for mock trial competitions. I want to read a quote by Miss Cherry. And I believe she had a column in the Miami Times, and it was titled Cherry Commentaries. And I'm going to read this. Let's see. Can you see my book? All right. We lost the physical bondage of slavery, but there still exist these economic chains and political powerlessness. Until these things can be done away with, Blacks are not free. We do not have liberty in the marketplace nor in the political arena. Equality is but a dream. When these become reality, then we will have achieved and earned our place in the sun. So, more information about Miss Cherry. I'm going to give you some of my sources. But before I do that, does anyone have any information that you would like to share, what you know about Gwendolyn Cherry? So some of my sources, of course, you can always go to the Black Archives. We have some information about her. The Miami Times, Linkages and Legacies books, the Gwen Cherry Williams Lawyers Association, and some articles from the Miami Herald and the Orlando Sentinel. Yes, so the Linkages and Legacy books were created by the Greater Miami chapter of the Links Inc. Incorporated. And their books highlight a lot of influential people and pioneers in Miami. Yes, also, Miss Cherry was a member of Sigma Gamma Rho sorority. Yes, she was. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Thank you, everyone, for attending. Please be safe, and I will see you next week at 11 a.m. Thank you.